Hey friends, it's Nitya with Karma Chameleon, and I am jumping on to share the astrology of Greta Thunberg, activist, global superhero. If you are interested in Bazi Chinese astrology, flying stars, feng shui, and feng shui, please subscribe and follow. Welcome, welcome. I like to read the stars, the charts of famous people, celebrities, because I think it helps us to better understand our own lives and our own charts. So, again, welcome. I have loved watching Greta Thunberg, such an activist from such a young age, and I'm realizing she's 20 years old. The beauty of children. They grow up and right before your eyes, and in our mind, they're kind of fixed as kids, but in reality, they've grown. And this person is a warrior for this planet. And she has spoken at the UN. I think she was up for Nobel Prize if she didn't win it. She makes my heart sing. I want an army of millions of people like her that hold people accountable, that speak truth. Now, she has Asperger's, and I love people who are, as my daughter says, neurospicy. My daughter is also a high functioning, or as she calls it, high performance Asperger's person. Neurodiversity is rich in our world now. I could wax verbose on all the reasons why I believe there is so much autism in our world, and not just autism and that grand spectrum, because I have people that I know with children that are nonverbal, that are that enclosed that is what autism is. They are autonomous. They are completely in their world, and the connection between their world and the outside world is not accessible for whatever reason. The neurons in the brain aren't making that connection. And it's almost like I see them as living in two worlds. And I can't even imagine the soul's journey like that, where you don't have access to words and communication, language. Anyway, so Greta is high functioning. She's absolutely verbal. And in fact, in her chart, she is seen, don't go to sleep on me. She is seen, because I didn't write this one down. This is a quick video. There's not a whole lot to write because Greta's birth time isn't available. I've looked online. If you see it, please put it in the comments and I'll update this. So she's born January 3rd, 2003. So yes, the little darling is absolutely 20 years old. Now, interesting, she's born in the cusp of a month and the cusp of a year. And I'd be really curious to know if she's a cusp of a day. I remember at least one person, because this is rare, one person that I've done a chart on who was all cusp, and their whole life felt like they were never in one place or the other. They always felt like they were in two places at once, in between things. There was a lack of stability in their life. And I saw that intuitively as somebody that is just, they are a cusp. They're not in one thing or the other. They're in the in-between. And when you have it compounded by all the different aspects, month, year, hour, day, it gets complicated. So she's born January 3rd, 2003. So this is the cusp of year, cusp of the month. And again, we don't know the hour. Because the hour could say, for instance, if she was born in a rat hour, that she was on the cusp of a day end time. Anyway, this is an interesting chart. This is somebody that I will say is here embattled. And she is bringing that into her platform. This is rich. She is born in the year of a yang water horse, the month of yang water rat. Rat is yin water, and the day of yang fire rat. Her chart is so full of water, and yet, let's see, we'll do our happy math. Yeah, her chart is like over 60% water. As a fire person, she is controlled. The fact that her month shows up as yang water rat means that her father and mother are all about her work. They're all about her discipline. They are all about, especially her mom, home and family. Okay. So this is a kid who is all business, A. B, she also, there is this, the yin water, which is strong in her chart, gives her this impetus of, I am responsible. Okay. Now, having raised an Asperger's child, when they latch into something, it is a hard, fast latching. For instance, they can get hyper focused in lining up all their dinosaurs by the different eras that they lived, or plant eaters to meat eaters, alphabetical by name, the organizing, the categorizing. That is so strong in her chart. The ability to organize, to gather information. And in her chart, it is steadfast, fixed mindset. She's made her decision. This is her path. Nothing is going to sway her. She is hard, fast in this. And people with Asperger's, in my humble opinion, with my life experience raising my daughter and working with children with autism, once they've made their mind up, good luck changing it. They can be some of the most stubborn human beings on this planet, but I'm telling you, when they fix into a subject they're interested in, they are geniuses. They came into this life knowing. And the genius that these kids, these people have in their neurodiversity is where we get Silicon Valley. They say Silicon Valley's filled with people on the autism spectrum. Again, they latch on to something that sparks an interest for them, and they can't let it go. My daughter and dinosaurs, let me tell you. My daughter and her love of David Attenborough. There's another chart I should do. That's her hero in life. My daughter knows the names of all kinds of animals and how they're all related. The giraffe, the rhinoceros, who's related to who and how. She has information in her brain that boggles my mind, and has since she was able to walk and talk. She is a walking encyclopedia. I'm saying all of this because Greta, her passion to save this planet, and it feels like a one-person band. But what she's trying to do is rally the passion and interest of the youth, the people that are going to be left behind in this world. to recognize that the earth is in peril, and if we don't do something, it is not going to be inhabitable. For her generation to in any way thrive, I mean, we're talking basic necessities of clean water and how to grow food when it's 150 degrees outside. Okay, so, ooh, lots to be said around that. So she is born on the day of Yang Fire Rat. The rat is all about people. It's about gathering people. It's about gathering information, collecting information. And again, that hyper focus of her lane, and nothing is going to sway her. Obstinate, stubborn, she knows what she knows. And she has the backing of scientists and all kinds of people in the industry supporting this mission of hers. And again, it is extremely noble. She's born the year of a horse. And I have mentioned many times, I myself am born in the year of a horse. And horse people are passionate. This is where all that I said about the ratness of her, and again, there are two, so this is magnified in her chart. The horse ignites this, literally puts the fire under all that water and brings it to a boil. Okay, I've said this before, opposite elements often sit in strong charts, where you have a strong day master and a strong ruler, and it is like a battle of wills. Her own chart is embattled. The horse and rat are arch enemies. This is yin fire against yin water. But that being said, as much as there is an internal battle raging within her own self, she is projecting it out into the world in a way that makes sense, that's useful, that's helpful. Awesome. Hands up. So the horse literally is the fire in her belly, the passion for her to do what she's here to do, which is speak truth and to help people. Now, if you look at her life mission of why she's here, because that is also very interesting. She is here. I'm just going to check this real quick. Sometimes a chart is so exact. In my mind, the way it all goes makes perfect sense. This chick is amazing. You can tell I'm a big fan of Greta. All right. Her life mission is a yin earth rooster. Now, this is interesting because the rooster as metal is a nourishing force for all that 60-some% water that dominates her chart. This is a fake follow ruler. Okay, if she didn't have the opposite element, it would be a dominant chart. Gets a little complicated with things like this, but anyway, keeping it simple. The rooster in her life is another secret hidden backdoor pocket thing that she's got that is her megaphone. It's like your life pillar is this secret pillar of why you're here. And sometimes we see somebody and we're like, wow, they're on a mission, right? And that is a person that intuitively knows why they are here without knowing, okay? And that is this girl. Greta knows that she is here. The yin earth speaks of action, This is action that comes from intuitive knowing and genius, which again, Asperger's tend to be geniuses in the lane they choose. And it's a revolution. This kid is on a one-woman mission to revolutionize, wake up, shake up the world leaders that she has spoken to about the peril of the planet and what we need to do to get off of fossil fuels to save ourselves. Now, the rooster loves to be heard. This takes her, the rat self that is so people-oriented, which is interesting for somebody with autism because they tend to really struggle with social cues and being able to navigate social situations without feeling enormous amounts of anxiety because they have to process. It really is a lot about the processing. You know, when you're standing in front of somebody, what do they look like? You're trying to take in the image of them, right? And then you're taking in the words that they're saying and the meaning behind it, the energy that's coming from that person. There's a lot of layers to being one-on-one with person, let alone in a whole crowd of people. But the rooster is her megaphone. Too cool. Just really and truly amazing, amazing, amazing. You know, I don't know at this point in time that I have a whole lot more to say about this, but I will say that in the last year, she's gone through a luck cycle change of a yang metal dog that's going to take her from 19 to 28, and the dog is all about justice. So don't think that Greta is slowing down anytime soon. Now that she is older, now that she's an adult, I really hope that this person has the strength, the ability, and the fortitude to continue her campaign. It's pretty amazing. The one thing I will say that as an almost caution is that with so much water ruling her, that I do hope that her hour offers some earth, some wood for her so she feels nourished and supported. I fear that she could hit burnout if there isn't a point in her life when she feels more nourished. And interesting, this just popped in my head. What nourishes her is the wood element. And what is the wood element but trees and nature? Wow. She's fighting for what nourishes her. And I just clicked, and her next luck cycle, 2032, is going to exactly mirror her life pillar. And I'm telling you, in that decade, if she doesn't win the Nobel Peace Prize, I'd be amazed. The next 20 years of this woman's life is something to pay attention to, because she is going to do amazing things on this planet. Greta Thunberg, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you happen to see this, which would be cool, let us know what time you were born so I could finish your chart. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much. Be well.